Once a client came to me, this was around 2 years back, and according to his own words, he told like, I'm addicted to YouTube. And he is from a religious family. And he's not just an ordinary Muslim, he's from a religious family, he's from a good associated with a good organization. And he comes to me as a client since I'm doing one-to-one coaching. And he says, like, I'm addicted to this YouTube. So, like, how many hours are you doing? He told like every day, 8 to 10 and sometimes 12 hours I'm doing YouTube. Just futile stuff, doing lahu, which doesn't benefits in the dunya and neither benefits in the akhirat. And he says that I'm not able to leave my mobile. I know it's time for namaz, I know it's time for salah, but I'm so addicted that I'm not able to leave my mobile. And every day I'm using it for 10 to 12 hours. Can you believe it? How dangerous is this? I'll tell you another interesting story. This is about like 10 years back. 10 years back when I was working in Saudi Arabia, I was working in Al Khobar actually. And at that time, around like, there were like internet cafes. Anybody has been to internet cafes? I think the new generation, they got the internet directly on their mobiles. So they don't know much. But people who have been to the internet cafes, they know it. Like you in Saudi, you used to pay like 10 to 15 reals, 20 reals for 1 hour, just for 1 hour. So I was there in Al Khobar and I had gone to an internet cafe for some business work. And there was like while I was discussing with the guy who used to sit on the counter, and during the discussion, he told me, "Oh, Mr. Manan, there is a person. He's sitting in that corner over there, and he is sitting here for the last 24 hours." What? I was like shocked. 24 hours? Are you kidding? No, 24 hours, and he hasn't eaten anything. He's just smoking, and God knows what he is doing over there. And you might be asking, well, in Saudi Arabia, at the time of Salah, they used to close the shops. Yes, the shop used to close. The shop used to be closed from inside. I mean, like they just used to put the grills in the chains, and outside it would seem as if the shop is closed, but inside the whole stuff used to go on. So for 24 hours, that guy was doing it continuously. This is so addictive. And I'm talking about more like 1 decade back. This is around like 2008, probably. This is so addictive, so dangerous. The statistics show that an average person checks his mobile 96 times per day. Can you believe it? 96 times. That is probably once every 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes pass, and they're like, oh, probably even during this discussion, I mean, like this thing is going on, and somebody is like, chalta hai, like, let's say what Mr. Manan is telling, let me just see WhatsApp, what message I have got on WhatsApp or, Instagram. That's how it is. Like, we have become so impatient. Continuously, we want something new. This is so addictive. Some new information has come and I want to listen to it. I want to know what's going on. And then an average person uses his mobile approximately 5 hours per day. Can you believe it? 5 hours. That's a big time. I mean, like 1/3 of our waking hours. 1/3 of our waking hours. Can you believe it? Imagine how many books you can read, how much Quran and tafsir and hadith and Islamic books you can read in this time. Every day, 5 hours. It's a very huge time. So, by the way, there is one more story regarding people who are using social media. Once a client came to me and he was totally depressed. And when I asked him, what is the reason of you being depressed? Like he was a very well settled guy. He had his own business, and he was pretty much settled. But just by seeing on social media, he's seeing his friends, they're settled in Dubai, Saudi, Qatar, and all, and he's getting depressed. He's having that feeling of inferiority complex because they're standing, like on Facebook, they're sharing their beautiful images, standing in front of a car, in front of, beautiful sceneries. Guess what? Guess what? The guy on the other side, he's also depressed by seeing your good photos. That is what happens in social media. See, nobody puts their, the bad scenes or the bad moments on social media. You always share the good moments. And others, they are trying to compare your life. with their own lives. And they will feel, well, he's enjoying his life, he's eating in such a fancy hotel, and I'm not able to go over there. And then they will feel depressed. So what happens is the grass on the other side always looks green. And on social media, people are comparing each other and saying, wow, he's enjoying his life. And the other guy is seeing your image and saying, well, he's enjoying his life. But ultimately, both of them are depressed. That's the ultimate end goal of social media. And what happens in social media is, you try to prove yourself better. You try to show others, like, even if you're depressed, you'll give a big smile, and then you'll take a selfie. For whom? Whom are you trying to prove? Who else? You're actually making yourself depressed. That is your own internal insecurities. And you're trying to put up a happy face in front of others just to show that you're happy. So that is the detrimental effect of social media. All right. So these are some of the dangers. It's lahu, it's absolute time waste. It creates digital dementia, and gradually it will lead to fash and haram relationships as well. And throughout this, what happens is you develop a materialistic mindset. May Allah protect us all. The dunya will start looking beautiful, and you will try to run after those material possessions, thinking that is the ultimate goal, that is the purpose of our life, but which is actually not. So this is the detrimental effects of internet. You can note them down if you want, because Bismillah, these are really practical points, been tested, proven, and got results, alhamdulillah. To begin with, from your mobile, remove all pop-up notifications. Pop-up notifications, right? Which is like just pop up. Like when you upload a picture, it's like, wow, you got 5 likes. Muhammad commented on your image. 7 people, XYZ, shared your post. These are continuous distractors. Remove all kind of push notifications, except for those apps which are really important. Let's say for your dialer and SMS. Apart from that, you can remove all other push notifications, even for your email. See, I always say, technology shouldn't dictate you. Technology shouldn't control you. You should control the technology. You shouldn't become a slave of technology. Technology is your slave. Technology is there to serve you, not the other way around. And what these push notifications do is they basically control you. So remove those push notifications. In my mobile, I only have 2 push notifications, for the dialer and the SMS. That's it. No push notifications for WhatsApp, no push notifications for email, no push notifications for any other social media app. People will say, what if I have some urgent thing? If an urgent message is it, I would say, if there is some urgent message or urgent thing, people will directly call me. They're not going to WhatsApp me or something urgent, right? And what is non-urgent, I can see at my own convenience. Technology shouldn't control me, right? Does that make sense? Yes or no? All right. And the next point is, use internet only with an objective and with a purpose. Don't just while you're sitting, and you feel a bit bored. Oh, feeling bored. Let me just check my mobile. Hey, come on. It shouldn't be like that. You should always have an objective. When you're going to check your mobile, have an objective. Like, okay, you need to call somebody. You want to order something online. You should have some purpose. If you browse your mobile without any purpose, without an objective, you are definitely going to waste time. You will end up in doing things which are not productive. And then, don't keep your mobile near you, especially when you're sleeping, when you plan to sleep. Because what happens is, normally for us, before we sleep, the last thing we do is use our mobile. And the moment we wake up, the first thing we do is use our mobile. That is really, really unproductive. Keep it far away from you when you're going to sleep. And you might say, well, what if I want to set an alarm in my mobile? No problem, you can keep it far away. Or alternatively, you can buy an alarm clock. Not an issue, right? Because it saves a lot of time. You can avoid all those attractions and distractions of that mobile. And then don't keep your Wi-Fi continuously on. Wi-Fi, your data and your mobile, don't keep it on. Switch it on only when necessary or when you're planning to do anything, any purposeful task. All right. Okay, so you got a lot of alternatives. There are like read books, You can set targets for reading books, finish one book in a week, something like that. Read books and join an Islamic organization, read Quran with tilawat, translation, tafsir. Go more in social gatherings. If you're into social gatherings, less probability of being on social media. So to avoid all those things, you need to do something practical, something physical. You can also join some sports club. You can play football, cricket, or badminton, or tennis, squash, whatever it is. But have some physical activity so that you are into continuous movement, and it relaxes your body, releases endorphins, and you will be much happier and relaxed instead of just browsing your mobile and internet. And at the end of the day, you'll feel tired. Just by sitting, you'll feel tired. It's very unhealthy. You may even feel depressed just by using your mobile unproductively. So those are the harms. To avoid them, you have to go for the alternatives. Is that making sense? So you have removed all the push notifications. Now write this down. These are your action items. Remove the push notifications. Use mobile with an objective and purpose. Have physical activity, some sports. Go outside. Go get involved in social gatherings. Set targets for reading books. Set targets for reading Quran, and make yourself busy in Dini or Islamic organizations. It will be very effective and productive tool, inshallah, bismillah.
If you benefited from this video, kindly like, share and subscribe.